Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. In the last episode, we finished up in the Forest Temple. We got the Forest Medallion after awakening Saria as the Sage of Forest. This episode, we have some annoying stuff to take care of before moving on to the Sage of Fire in Death Mountain. So, I was actually going to summon Epona, but it's really not worth it. The first thing we need to do is we need to go to a house. It was a house that, if you remember when we were a kid, it was full of pots, and there was a soldier in there. Now, however, it's much spookier than before.
Oh, you are quite an energetic young man. You're brave and handsome too. Your name is the Doctor, isn't it? Don't be surprised. I can read people's minds. If I looked as good as you, I could run a different kind of business. My shop is the only ghost shop in Hyrule. Because of the great Ganondorf, it is a fine time for business like this. Oh, I can only hope the world gets even worse and worse. The ghosts called Poes are the spirits of concentrated hatred that appear in the field and graveyards of the world. They hate the world. Young man, if you catch a Poe, I will pay a lot of money for it.
Oh, fuck me, that voice hurt. Oh, worth noting, that voice is completely unmodified. I can just do a thing sometimes where,
if I talk right, it sounds like there are two voices.
Oh, but it fucking hurts my throat to do. But I knew that was going to be that guy's voice from the start. I need a drink. Oh, worth it. Committing to the craft, it's what I do. So, any of the normal Poes that you can find in, like, Kakariko Graveyard and stuff, he will pay you for. I think he pays you 20 to 10 rupees or something per Poe. But there are 10 big Poes, which are the real deadliest catch, I suppose. Motherload was what I meant to say. Why did I fucking say deadliest catch? That's a terrible program on the Discovery Channel. Anyway, the big Poes are all to be found in Hyrule Field, and finding and killing them is a bugger. Basically, you have to know where they are, and there's an invisible area that triggers them. Let me demonstrate. Once you go through the invisible area, use your newly obtained fairy bow from the Forest Temple, or apparently not. Fuck me! Oh, I suck. You'll have a limited time to shoot at them before they disappear. Wherever you approach the invisible point from, they will still, they will always travel in the same direction. So even if I came up the way, like towards Castle Town, this one would always appear going in that direction. 2 shots, and they die. Why didn't I do that the first time, you know? And when you hop off, just walk into it, and it will say, you defeated a Poe! Do you want to catch the ghost in the bottle? Hooray. You'll have noticed I emptied my bottles entirely. I got rid of the bugs and the milk and the fairy and stuff I had, and so there's 10 of them in total, which is bloody annoying, because I've only got 3 bottles, which means I have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, so I have to do 4 trips, which is really irritating. And you just have to kind of know where these are, or you have to spend a lot of time. They're all just in Hyrule Field, but this next one, you've got to go between this wall and that tree. I can hear the fucker. Oh, I must have gone through it the wrong way. I guess he goes towards Kakariko, doesn't he? Despite what you may think about Poes, also, it's nothing to do with time of day. They'll appear just as easily in the day as in the night. But yeah, as you can see, he's just moving in a line that way. Oh, bloody hell. I didn't think I was going to hit him. Oh, fucking Robin Hood over here. The third one is in a location we've not really come to at all here. This bit where Zora's River exits Hyrule Castle and rejoins the field and goes down towards Gerudo Valley that way. There's a load of bushes here. This one in the middle, to the left here, is the triggering one, and the Poe goes in that direction. Epona, by the way, once you've drawn your bow, keeps continually moving in a straight line, which is kind of handy. Well, actually, I was going to make a point, but I'm not going to do it right. So we filled all our bottles, so let's head back to Spooky Ghost Man.
Oh, you brought a Poe today. Very interesting. This is a big Poe.
Oh, I can't do the voice right this time.
I'll buy it for 50 rupees. On top of that, I'll put 100 points on your card. If you earn 1,000 points, you'll be a happy man.
So, what this is telling us is that there is... I've nearly left without having cashed them all in. What that means is there are 10 big Poes, which I did already tell you. And yes, you have to go through the whole spiel every time and cash in them 3 at a time. And, like, I'm lucky in that I've got 3 bottles, but you can't have 4 bottles by this point. So it means it is a really fucking time-consuming quest. Anyway, take 2. Not take 2. Next batch of Poes. Why does they take 2? I guess that normally follows. Anyway... means anyway, I fucked up. Let's try again. Let's head over to Gerudo Valley. Gerudo Valley? I don't know which of those I say. That's a lie. This one isn't actually at Gerudo Valley, so this is where we just were. That one won't appear again, but there's this one tree here. If we pass to the right of the tree this way, I think. Nope. Oh, I'm in completely the wrong area. It was towards Gerudo Valley, I was right. I have no idea whether I say Gerudo or Gerudo. I think I say Gerudo most of the time. That's always the one I used to say, but I've kind of taken... Basically, so... Oh, this one appears here, by the way. Oh, bugger, he's going to go through the fucking wall. Oh. It's easy to approach it this way towards the castle, because then he won't... Well, that actually completely discounts what I was going to say earlier, because I thought... because it does actually, where they appear, does depend on which direction you're moving. Yeah, because now he's moving going that way. Yeah, I always come Gerudos, but then, so, when I was playing through Breath of the Wild, that was like the first time I've ever known other people who've been playing through a Zelda game at the same time as me, because there was a couple of us in my lab who had Switches, and so we were all kind of playing through Breath of the Wild at the same time. Well, they had Switches, I actually didn't have a Switch at that time, I had a fucking Wii U, and that's why I played Breath of the Wild on. Maybe that's why I didn't like it. It's probably not the case. I think there are many issues with the Breath of the Wild that I have, and I think the fact that the Wii U version is slightly less good frame rate wise and LOD wise is probably actually not the case. But like, that was the first time I really was playing through a Zelda game at the same time as people, and they were always talking about going to like Gerudo Town, and when Link dresses as a female to blend in with the Gerudo, and therefore I kind of got used to calling them Gerudo, and as such, that's kind of a thing why I say it. So basically, it's peer pressure, is whether I say Gerudo or Gerudo. As far as I'm aware, there's no official pronunciation. I don't think there were... I mean, I'm sure you won... I can't remember the name of either the champion or the present-day person. But I'm sure they ever actually say the word Gerudo in a voiced cutscene in Breath of the Wild. Anyway, this one here is a real bastard. It's the hardest one to actually to activate. I can never remember quite where it is. I know, but oh, fucking there it was. Right. I knew it was about here. I knew basically you have to... It's on the Y junction here. Basically, there's 2 ways out of Gerudo Valley. There's this way I'm pointing, and there's a way directly to my right. And it's at that split that it appears. But basically, you have to chase it this way. Otherwise, it will go straight into a wall. So there. There we go. Oh, perfect, actually. This one's normally a bastard, but I actually nailed it quite well there. So that gets me a second one. And then... So, next one is we need to go... right the fuck down to kind of that weird area in the bottom right of the field we've not really been to, which is in the kind of dead zone between Lake Hylia and Kukiri Forest. So this is the area we want to go for, and I'm just positioning myself so I don't make the Poe run into the wall here. You will notice to our left here, there is a boulder, and there's this tree south of the boulder. That tree is the trigger. If we hit it, then your Poe appears there. 1 and 2, down he goes. So, wow, annoyingly, I probably should have done things in a different order to work around this, shouldn't I? Basically, my order kind of goes anti-clockwise, counterclockwise, whatever the fuck you say, around Hyrule Field, but it actually might have been better, because basically that patch of bushes to my left is the next one, but I have to go back to fucking Spooky McGee during that time. Depending on where you are, it can actually sometimes even be faster. I mean, you've got Epona, so it's fine. It can sometimes actually be faster to warp with the Prelude of Light to the Temple of Time and then walk back to Spooky McGee. But, nah. Goes without saying, you can't do this without the bow. And I'm pretty sure you can't do it without Epona. Epona, as I say, is technically optional in this game. You can go the entire game. Oh, no, she's not. She's optional for the very much foreseeable future. And I'm pretty sure, if you are on foot, the ghosts still appear, but I think killing them is damn near impossible without Epona. Anyway, let's cash these in and head back down to where I just was. Yeah, one of the frustrating things about this quest as well is the fact that so every big Poe you turn in gets you 50 rupees, so turning in all 10 gets you 500. But I'm already at 500, and I'm never going to be significantly below 500 for the rest of the game. Because once you become an adult, there's really not much, unless you fuck up, there's not much to spend money on. I will explain what I mean by in case you fuck up when it becomes relevant. There we go. So through those bushes there triggers the next Poe. Yeah, but basically, so there isn't really, because you have like the bomb tube bowling alley and you've got like magic beans when you're a kid to spend money on, but once you're an adult, other than like buying, so like I've only got 15 arrows left, so I might need to buy some new arrows soon. Other than that, there's not a huge amount to spend rupees on once you're an adult, so it really doesn't actually come up that much. Here, to the right of this silver boulder here, is your next Poe. So that's kind of that. If you look on the map, it's like the Y-shaped junction near the, it's kind of between Kokiri Forest and Lon Lon Ranch. So let's grab that guy. And then the other one is fortunately actually just around the corner from here. If we look up to the left, you'll see there's a kind of stone wall there that comes out at an angle. The very point of that is the triggering point. You can be on the inside or the outside, but I find the outside here is easier. And then, oh shit, hit the Poe there. And there we go, we've got another 3 to cash in, and then we just need to head up to the field for the final one. So the final one is slightly strange in that there's a good way to trigger it, which means you kind of have to ignore it the first time. So you see this kind of pillar and spur that comes out to the left. On the way up there is the trigger, so you will hear, if you listen to the audio here, we've triggered it, but it's going in the wrong direction. So now we basically just sit here and wait. It takes like 10 seconds for the Poe to disappear, and then you wait a bit longer for that before crossing again. This is going to be one of those episodes, I'm pretty sure, which is considerably longer, oh it's disappeared now, than 20 minutes, because this is one of those episodes, didn't wait long enough. So, I'm guessing when I return back up here, it's going to appear again. Let's have a listen. Yep, there we go. Well, let's reverse right in here and just wait. Yeah, this is one of those episodes where I'm basing the episode on. Okay. Oh bloody hell! Oh, well, I wasn't ready for that one. I always have like stuff I want to get done in an episode. Like my episodes are, I sit and I practice the game and I see kind of like where's a good point to end it, and I tried to strive a rough balance between like 20 minutes and actually getting a decent amount of progress done. So if it's been a slow episode, like this one for example, it will be a longer one, and I always just have like stuff I want to get done. But then this episode particularly is like, I can't take account when I'm practicing for how much I'm going to talk while showing this off. I really can't. So this one's like, I'm aware that the amount that I time this to when I'm practicing versus how much it times to. Oh, that lens flare is really nice. Oh, J.J. Abrams would be so proud. Yeah, like these episodes where I'm potentially off camera quite a lot are much harder to time, and as such, it's like it doesn't matter how long it takes. This I know what I want to get done this episode, therefore it means it is probably going to be a longer one. Right, I'm just actually going to take a drink before talking to this dude.
You brought a Poe today. Very interesting. This is a big Poe. I'll buy it for 50 rupees. On top of that, I'll put 100 points on your card. If you earn 1,000 points, you'll be a very happy man. Wait a minute. Wow! You've earned 1,000 points. Young man, you are a genuine ghost hunter. Is that what you expected me to say? Because of you, I have extra inventory of big Poes, so this will be the last time I can buy one of these ghosts. You're thinking about what I promised you when you earned 1,000 points. Don't worry, I didn't forget. Just take this.
And you get the 4th empty bottle, which would have been super handy to have at the beginning of this quest, and that's what I meant when I said it's impossible to have 4. You can only have 3 bottles by the time it comes to this quest, because you get the 4th one from this, so if you've got 2, it will take you 5 goes to do this quest. With 3, it still takes you 4, which is slightly irritating. But we've got it done. We got the next bottle, and it's irritating, but it's out of the way. Let's go and, wow, we're going to do a couple of nice things before doing something hideously irritating. So let's head over to Lake Hylia, which we can actually access in a slightly more interesting way now we have Epona. So with Epona, we can actually take over these gates. There is a way to climb around them. There's a ladder there, which is definitely there at Young Link. Don't know if it is at Adult Link. But anyway, Lake Hylia, a little bit different now we're an adult. It's smaller. Certainly, so that's that opening flyby I should have shown you. Very little water, actually. So you can see down in the centre is the real kind of trickle of water that remains. Oh, come on, Epona. Oh, can you not go that way? At least go to the left, then. You can definitely ride her down in the lake bed. There we go. So the pathway to Zora's domain is there to the left. And is blocked by an ice cube, which should tell you something about a little bit about what's going on there. And yeah, the level of water around the centre of the lake is pretty fucking low. And this is going to become... Oh, it's raining. Oh, there's not much rain in this game, but when it does come, it's really nice, actually, I must say. But anyway, yes. We will come to this in like 5 to 6 episodes' time. For now, remember this Scarecrow? Let's talk to him and see what he remembers about the last 7 years. Hey, aren't you the fairy buddy I met a long time ago? Whoa, you grew, dude! Well, here's your song. What? No, I never forget. You're the one who forgot, aren't you? If you have an ocarina, play that song, baby. And indeed, so a couple of people got this in the comments. Let's play what is the Oath to Order from Majora's Mask. Oh yeah, that's it. That's the tune. You rock. I'm blown away. No. I didn't forget the song. I never forget anything. But I just feel like rewarding you, baby. Oh, I have a good idea. My buddy Pierre is wandering around, so play that tune whenever you want to call him. I'll tell him to help you if he's nearby and we hear that song, baby. So, that unlocks something very useful. And yes, there's a reason why there's a reason why I use that song. The reason why I use that song is Majora's Mask is my favourite Zelda. Pretty much. It's really close to me, and I actually can't decide because they're so fucking different between Wind Waker and Majora's Mask. I really like Ocarina of Time, don't get me wrong. There's several reasons I'm doing Ocarina of Time first. Ocarina of Time is a fucking game changer when it comes to how Zelda and games in general are. When we get here, by the way, Navi flies up there and goes green. This is an indicator to do with what we literally just did. So let's play the Oath to Order again. Ocarina of Time is great. I really enjoy Ocarina of Time and it's a lot of fun and the plot is really cool. Majora's Mask is fucking fantastic. And it's so similar but so different and there's no real way to describe it. Anyone who's watching this who hasn't played it, I mean, I'll be doing it before long, don't worry. The fact that I'm doing Ocarina of Time is kind of as a prelude to that, almost. So, Pierre appears, the Scarecrow, and we can grapple up to him. And there are a fair few points we can do this throughout the game. You play the Scarecrow song when Navi turns green and flies up there, but there's nothing obvious up anywhere. If you play the Scarecrow's song, Pierre will appear. There is a soft soil location underneath this lab as a child, and if you... Fuck off, why? And if you plant a bean there, you can ride up to this point on a magic bean. I didn't do that because I wanted to show off the Scarecrow song at this point. So there'll be a fair few Scarecrow locations going forwards. That's what they're for. Piece of heart, wonderful. But yes, I would in no way say Ocarina of Time is a bad game. Like you must have noticed, I'm pretty fucking enthusiastic about it. I really like this game. Ocarina of Time is really good. Majora's Mask is... I don't want to say superior because they're not a comparison. They are such different games. And I much prefer Majora's Mask because of what it's able to do. And in case people are watching this and haven't played it, I actually don't want to say anything more than that. But I chose the Oath to Order because that particularly is one of my favourite parts of the whole... Majora's Mask is, well, yeah, I don't want to get into it because I really want to save those thoughts for when I play Majora's Mask, which will be definitely within probably the next year. Well, I don't know because my you know when you've got... So I have my vague timescale fishing hole, by the way. As you may have noticed, you need to use the scarecrow to access it because the water level is low. Hey, mister, I remember you. It's been a long time. How many years has it been? 7 years? What have you been doing all this time? You're my only customer. I'm almost out of business. I'm his only customer, and he's gone 7 years without making any transactions. Hard to believe. On top of that, my hair. Oh, I mean, never mind. Well, do you want to go fishing? So, fishing is the same as when we were a kid, except the fish are potentially bigger. So, I need to hook in another fish here of a certain size, and I'm going to do that. So I've got my... It's weird, I've kind of got my Let's Plays planned out for the next... probably more than a year. It's weird, I don't plan them out in terms of time, I just plan them out in terms of what I want to do in what order, but that order has just been changed. Sometimes you're planning a Let's Play, and you're like, oh yeah, this order would be really nice. And then Nintendo goes and takes one of your all-time favourite games that you want to Let's Play, but you feel like it's just a bit weird. But it's a game that's slowly garnering more popularity after it got a big sequel recently, and then they've gone and remastered the original. And my gut says, boy, there is not a better time to do a Let's Play of that game than around the time that remaster comes out. The fact is, if you know what I'm talking about, you're already aware of that game, and it is definitely bloody... Oh, shit, that was weird. He flopped onto the floor. There we go. So now we've grappled him. This is a big fish. So actually the weird way to bring them in is you let them tire for a bit, and then when they're doing that, so you hold down an A to reel in, and you hold down an A and R to reel in fast. You basically got to pull him like that, and then he'll tire there. And that's when you go fast. So kind of pull in a bit, and then you kind of pulse the R trigger to kind of bring him in. Oh, bugger me. Oh, shit, you lost it. Oh, okay, he might be a lost cause now. Let's find out. That's a complete cock throw. But yeah, like the game I'm talking about is up there with Majora's Mask and Wind Waker. Oh, look at that big bastard. Oh, he's much huge. Much huge he is. Oh, chunky boy. Oh lord, he coming. We gonna get him. Yeah, definitely amongst my favourite games. Top 5 easily, top 3 likely, top 1 that means top 3, so that means there's at least a 1 in 3 chance of that. So that has actually been hugely moved up my pecking order because of the fact that a really good looking HD remaster for the Switch is coming out soon, so that obviously does push Majora's Mask back a little bit, and it's like, oh, I have to choose between basically 2 of my 3 favourite games, because I would say it's that one, Majora's Mask, and Wind Waker, and Mass Effect 2. Okay, I don't know. Well, I mean, obviously I've done Mass Effect 2, but of my favourite games which I haven't yet Let's Played, I'm in weird... a weird situation where I kind of have to almost choose between them. But this is always kind of the issue, and it was one of the things, like, I don't want to say I didn't want to do an Ocarina of Time. I really do like Ocarina of Time, and it was like, I was aware that I had to do Ocarina of Time in order to do Majora's Mask properly, in the same way that... come on, take the fucking bait. In the same way that I had to do Mass Effect 1 because I wanted to do Mass Effect 2. Mass Effect 1 is good, Mass Effect 2 is fantastic. Ocarina of Time is good, Majora's Mask is fantastic. And so these are games that need seeding, in a sense of I have to have done the earlier one before I do the next one. And so, yeah, that has rearranged my priorities a little bit when it comes to what I'm Let's Playing in what order, but... I mean, the next one after this is none of those games and isn't going to change because that's a... Well, it's a different one. So, oh, yes, there we go. Yeah, it took you a fucking while to bite, didn't it? So I'm going to try and kind of basically pulse the R trigger to reel in closely. And this guy is definitely much like when you're a kid, the biggest fish of the lake spawns at this point, kind of under the arch. I thought I was going for it before, but then that one got away. But left this guy here, and I think he's actually bigger. So let's try and reel him in, speed it on. Please, Future Doctor. Oh, fuck me, he got away. Right, so we may be bollocks here. So he's gone to that middle part, and we'll just have to see. Well, so that kind of middle part, the deepest part of the lake, you chuck your lure over there. Yeah, and the fish are down there. but they don't tend to respond to shit very well. Let's have another final cast. This is the other, by the way, irritating thing I said I was going to be doing this episode. So there's the pose, and there's the fishing hole. And yeah, so those are they're not responding anymore. So I've got to return the rod, head out, head back in again, and try take 2. Oh, man. God, that took a significant amount of time. Wow, this is a real lurker. Let's see, it's £19. Do you want to keep it? It's not as big as they get. So it goes as high as 20, and then beyond that, if you catch a fish that's about 20, fish with a silent PH, then they are worth, it just says, oh, they're at least £20. But hey, if we talk to this guy, we get something actually kind of unusual for this. Whoa, this fish is huge. It looks like a new record. It's at least £19. Seriously. Okay, here is your prize. And he gives us a golden scale, so it's nothing, not just a mere heart piece. No, we can dive much deeper than we can before. This is an upgrade for our silver scale, which lets us dive deeper, and this lets us unlock actually a couple of things. So let's head over to where we grabbed a heart piece with the scarecrow earlier. So let's head over to the Lakeside Laboratory. So we've never actually been in here before, but if we go inside, we will meet a really creepy old bastard. Look at him. He looks like a skull with giant elf ears.
Hello there, son. I'm researching the process of making medicine by mixing Lake Harlier's water with various unusual compounds. Perhaps you've met that old lady from the potion shop. She is like a student of mine.
Apparently he sounds like Yoda. Oh, why have I chosen to do so many fucking voices today that hurt my mouth so much? Anyway, with the golden scale, we can dive all the way down to the bottom of this surprisingly deep, like, I guess, test pool? I don't actually want to think too much about it. Maybe there's nuclear fuel at the bottom, which means we probably shouldn't be diving down. Well, actually, that's okay. Yeah, weirdly, like, you get these pools that are used to, like, to store nuclear fuel in, and if you swam in the surface layer of them, you're actually better protected from radiation than you would be if just normally in the earth in terms of background. You really have to dive down and touch the fuel, which is like, what, 20 meters down, to actually really have problems. At the surface, you're fine, which is specifically why we keep them in pools like that, because it damps the radiation surprisingly well. Anyway, enough of my radiation rants. Let's talk to Yoda again.
You may not have noticed, but I've been watching you. You touched the bottom just now. Fantastic! I'll give this to you.
And we got a piece of heart which completes yet another heart container. Wonderful. And we're done with the irritating stuff for this episode. Level. Good one. In fairness, the irritating stuff was the big pose and the fishing hole, both of which took a significant amount of time. Ugh, this is one of the things that always slightly annoys me about the fact that they're like, oh, Lake Hylia has dried up. So Zora's Domain is frozen. All this water is still presumably coming from Zora's Domain, because it comes from Zora's Domain, then round through Zora's River, through Hyrule, Castle, past, fucking Gwai, fuck off, I'm trying to talk, through Gerudo Valley into here, and then it just stops here. Despite the fact there's clearly a significant supply of it coming over that waterfall, it just ends there. I was like, ugh, that's slightly irritating. If that flow was stopped more, that would annoy me less. Anyway. Stupid shit aside, let's head to, we need to head back to Hyrule Field, and up to kind of that northwest of the field. It's where actually our third or second big Po was, up in that area. I said at the time that we'd never really been to that part of Hyrule Field, which is true, so let's head up there. So this tree here, the only lone tree on this side of the bank, if we approach it, the Shard of Agony starts responding, which means, as it usually does, drop a bomb, stand back. Oh, Epona, I'm so sorry. Oh good, she doesn't get hurt by it. I feel far less bad now. And you find this weird little grotto, so let's shoot the Tektite here to get him out of the way. And here, you couldn't do much unless you'd obtained the gold scale like we just did. So, if we dive down, we get another heart piece. So catching that fish is actually worth, at least at this stage, Actually, there's more stuff you get with the golden scale, but there it's worth at least 2 heart pieces, which means it is worth the annoying investment of time that it takes. Anyway, now we're actually ready to start proceeding on with the game a little bit. So let's... Ooh, that's a really nice sunset. Sunset? Fuck off. Sunrise. So, as I've talked about, there is a nasty cloud of bullshit surrounding Death Mountain. So let's head up to the lower part of Death Mountain Trail. So, we saw last episode that when we got to the Deku Tree... Oh, by the way, there's boulders rolling down Death Mountain, which I'm pretty sure weren't there when we were a kid. The Deku Tree was weirdly sealed up and we couldn't access it. Dodongo's Cavern, however, is actually unique in the game. Oh, bugger. It remains unusual as the only dungeon that you can access as both a child and an adult equally easily. And there's one specific thing we need to do in here, which you can only do as an adult. So if you remember that, we came back here at the end of our time as a child to get a... Oh, fuck me. To get a Skulltula at the top of the giant staircase. Technically, you can also get that now as well using the hook shots, but what I'm about to now, you can literally only do as an adult. Let's play the Scarecrow song. And Pierre appears up there. You can immediately see what is behind Pierre is indeed another gold Skulltula. Wonderful. Time to now head further up the trail to Goron City. So, Goron City is a bit different to when we last left it. Physically it looks the same, but there's a couple of things to do. You see, there's a dude rolling around there. Other than that dude, count the number of Gorons you see. And that's all I'll kind of say on it for now. Oh, bugger me. Right, let's head back up to the top. So, from about this point here, we should be able to do what I want to do, which is, with the hookshot, there is a gold Skulltula. Oh! I probably should have shot it first. Right, let's try by actually shooting him first. Oh, bloody hell. That's probably why I grappled rather than killing him. There we go. Right. There we go. So, oh, bugger. What I need to do is, so there's 2 things we can actually do on the second level of Goron City, which is up here. So, there's a Goron rolling around over there, and I will deal with him before too long. He's basically, as you may have noticed, the only Goron kind of left in the entire city. Here, using bombs, we can unlock something. We could have unlocked this as a child, except there was no advantage to doing so. Because what's behind here, you'll see in a second. Introducing... Oh god, there's another barrier. Well, that makes me feel foolish. Introducing Medigoron. So, you notice you've got a little blacksmith thing going here. He is a blacksmith, and if we talk to him, he says, I just completed a small weapon. How about it? How about buying this knife for 200 rupees? Indeed, it is actually an upgrade to our sword. This is the giant knife. Hold it with both hands and use B to attack. It's so long you can't use it with a shield. And indeed, so if I equip it from the gear screen, it's our 3rd piece of sword gear, and you'll see, yes, it's a huge 2-handed sword, so it deals twice the damage the Master Sword does. The issue is this. That's me shielding. You just fucking crouch. If you're L targeting, you hold the sword up like that. Neither of them do anything. You can still... My brother is a world-famous bladesmith. I have a long way to go before I'll be able to forge weapons as sturdy as the one he makes. So, if you are L-targeting like this with your weapon not drawn, you still use your shield fine, but once the weapon's out, you can't shield with it, which is an issue, but it does twice the damage. It's bloody actually handy to grab at this point. So, one final thing to do is not jump down. So, as I said, So Medigoron's still here. If you speak to him as a child, he says, I'm working on something. It'll take me, about 5 to 10 years to complete. So it's basically saying, come back when you're an adult. Other than that, there are no Gorons around here at all, other than this dude rolling around. Where the fuck's he gone? Ah, there he is. So, much like we did with the last guy, stop him using a bomb. Oh, fucking reversed. Crafty bastard. Ah, got you, little bastard. I won't let you get me. You probably work for Ganondorf. How could you do this to me? You're Ganondorf's servant! Hear my name and tremble. I am the Doctor, hero of the Gorons! What? Your name is also the Doctor? Then you must be the legendary Dodongo Buster and hero, Doctor! My dad is Darunia, do you remember him? Dad named me the Doctor after you because you're so brave! It's a cool name, I really like it. Doctor, you're a hero to us Gorons, I'm so glad to meet you! Please give me your autograph. Sign it to my friend, Doctor of the Gorons. Oh, I guess it's not a good time to ask you for this. Please help everyone. My dad, Darunia, went to the fire temple. A dragon is inside. If we don't hurry up, even my dad will be eaten by the dragon. You'd better try and calm him down if you can. Maybe he'll calm down if you talk to him. What do you want to ask him about? Let's ask him about the dragon. A long time ago, there was an evil dragon named Volvagia living in this mountain. Awful name. I'll talk about that more in the coming episodes, but fuck me, is that the worst name that Nintendo's ever come up with, ever. That dragon was very scary. It ate Gorons, using a huge hammer. The hero of the Gorons. Boom! Destroyed it, just like that. This is a myth from long, long, long ago, but it's true. I know because my dad is a descendant of the hero. Oh, let's talk to him about the Gorons. Everyone was taken to the fire temple. While my dad was out, Ganondorf's followers came and took them all away. All of them will be eaten by Volvagia. Dad said that Ganondorf has revived Volvagia as a warning to those who might oppose him. Ganondorf is going to feed them all to Volvagia. Dad went to the fire temple all by himself to try and save everyone. Please help, Doctor. I'll give you this heat-resistant tunic. You got a Goron tunic. This heat-resistant tunic is adult size, so it won't fit a kid. Going to a hot place? No worries! So that opens up, after speaking to the Doctor of the Gorons. I love the fact he named his kid after us, that's hilarious. It opens up the shop to the left there, and also Darunia's room. So, let's put on this fancy Goron tunic. Oh, Link looks so much cooler. As people may have noticed from any multiplayer stuff, red is my favourite colour, hugely, and Link looks so fucking cool in the red tunic. I really always like keeping him in this tunic for basically the rest of the game, apart from issues where we have to change. But, as you may have noticed, so there's this statue of a Goron here, which pulls back. Make sure you've got your Goron tunic on at this point. Because this brings us to Death Mountain Crater. Remember, we came here when we were a child. We actually got like a heart piece from over there. But it hurt us to be here. We could only stay here for a limited amount of time, and that would be true if we were still wearing a Kokiri tunic. With the Goron tunic, however, we can survive here as long as we want. We can grapple over here, and, well, time to meet our old friend. It is something that grows over time, a true friendship, a feeling in the heart that becomes even stronger over time. The passion of friendship will soon blossom into a righteous power, and through it, you will know which way to go. This song is dedicated to the power of the heart. Listen to the Bolero of fire. Oh, bugger, tried to go too fast again. You've learned the Bolero of fire. Doctor, I'll see you again. I have mixed feelings about the name of this piece, because So for the rest of them, Minuet of Forest, Prelude of Light, the thing that describes them, Minuet or Prelude, is a type of music. A minuet is something in a certain time signature. Prelude is also it's the beginning act of an opera. No, it's not an opera, that's an overture. Something like that. It's a beginning. That's literally what prelude means. Bolero of Fire. Bolero is a specific piece. It's a piece called Bolero by a composer called Ravelli? No, Ravelli is from something else. I think it's called Ravel, which sounds like that one. It's like bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 is the kind of the rhythm of it. Da 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 dum, ba da 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 da. Ba 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 bum. You'd recognise it probably if you heard it. If not, Google Ravel's Bolero. And so the Bolero of Fire is based on the name of that piece. But all of the rest of the warping songs have their name is a type of music, like a minuet, a prelude, like that kind of thing. It kind of annoys me that is not a general name. No, oh, I'm trying to do the Prelude of Light while talking. I failed. A-Y-A-Y-X-Y. No, A-Y. A-Y-X-A. There we go. Yeah, they're all types of music, but Bolero is a specific song. But I guess in time, like, there are ones like, I think Minuet comes from, it's someone called that piece Minuet, and then it became a name from that, so I guess it is just a evolving name. But for that reason, the Bolero Fire slightly annoys me. But I do actually really like the sound of the piece. And I think it captures fire, volcano, and stuff quite well. Anyway, we've come back to the Temple of Time because we could proceed and do the Fire Temple right now. But I have stuff I actually want to take care of as a kid. So, it's time to travel back in time. Thank you very much, and I hope you'll join me next episode. Good day.